You probably know Saquon Barkley for the way he runs, fast, powerful, and impossible to stop. But while he's making moves on the field, he's also making bigger moves in boardrooms. And no, this isn't about another sneaker deal or energy drink. We're talking real money, equity, ownership, startups worth billions. By the time he turned 28, Barkley had a Super Bowl ring, a $40 million net worth, and something way more valuable: equity in companies that could explode in value. This isn't luck, this is strategy. He's part of a growing group of athletes rewriting the playbook, using their fame, brains, and network to become investors in the future: tech, finance, military, and even real estate. Barkley's putting his money where innovation lives. So how did he do it? Why is he so obsessed with tech? And what can you learn from the way that he moves off the field? Let's break it down step by step. Back in 2018, Barkley was the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. The New York Giants locked him in with a 4-year deal worth $31.2 million, fully guaranteed, and that came with a signing bonus of $20.8 million, money in the bank instantly. Most rookies would blow a chunk of that on watches or cars. Not Barkley. He played it smart. A custom home near the Giants training facility, sure, but instead of going flashy with the rest, he started building. He grew up watching his dad, once a boxer, and learning from a family that believed in working hard and staying humble. That mindset stayed with him. When his NFL check started rolling in, he didn't just hire an agent. He built a team: financial advisors, wealth managers, tech founders, and even startup mentors. They weren't just guiding him, they were teaching him. That's when Barkley picked up 0 to 1, a book by Peter Thiel, a guy who co-founded PayPal and invested early in Facebook. That book changed everything for him. It wasn't just about money, it was about solving real-world problems and finding companies that were doing something no one else was doing. He started following venture capital trends, learning about equity, and figuring out the difference between being a brand ambassador and being an owner. And in 2021, he made his first bold move. He took all of his endorsement money from the year, more than $10 million, and converted it into Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin didn't stay at its peak, but that wasn't the point. That move showed he wasn't afraid to bet on the future. He wanted to get in early. In that strategy, it set the tone for everything that came next. By 2025, Barkley's investments went from bold to brilliant. Just days before winning the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles on his 28th birthday, he made his biggest financial play yet, investing in Ramp. So what's Ramp? It's not just another banking app. It's a full-on financial operations platform built to help businesses save time, cut costs, and grow smarter. Ramp lets companies manage their spending, pay bills, book travel, and handle vendor contracts all in one place with built-in automation and smart tracking. By 2025, Ramp had saved companies more than $2 billion in expenses and over 20 million hours of work. It was already serving over 30,000 clients, from small startups to major enterprises. And with that kind of scale, Ramp was already past the $1 billion mark and racing toward a $10 billion valuation. Barkley tossed money at it and he became part of the team. Ramp created their first ever Super Bowl commercial and Barkley starred in it. In the ad, instead of dodging defenders, he was dodging piles of expense reports. It was funny, sharp, and smart branding. But it also sent a message. This wasn't just a sponsorship. He had skin in the game. Ramp's co-founder, Eric Lyman, even said Barkley's mindset matched the company's vision. Barkley sacrificed personal records to help his team win the Super Bowl. Ramp sacrifices short-term profits to help clients save even more. They both think long-term. They both lead through action. And Barkley's not doing this for pocket change. This is equity, ownership. If Ramp hits that $10 billion IPO and Barkley owns even a small percentage, he could walk away with tens of millions of dollars, maybe even more. Barkley found Ramp through mutual investor connections. He studied the market, he asked questions, and when he saw how Ramp was changing the way businesses handle money, he knew this was the type of an impact he wanted to invest in. He wanted companies that made things faster, smarter, and more efficient. Companies that scaled. That mindset is what led him to another massive industry, defense tech. Ramp proved Barkley had an eye for smart financial plays, but his next move showed he was thinking even bigger, much bigger, because the next investment he invested in wasn't about office software. It was about national defense. Meet Anduril, a military tech company that's changing how countries protect themselves. You won't see their name on a sneaker box or a cereal box, but behind the scenes, they're developing some of the most advanced defense systems in the world. We're talking AI-powered surveillance towers, autonomous drones, border monitoring tech, and battlefield systems that process data in real time. By 2025, Anduril had raised over $2 billion in funding and was valued at more than $8.5 billion. Their clients included the US Department of Defense, the United Kingdom, and NATO allies. This is Silicon Valley meets national security. And what's Barkley doing in this world? Investing quietly, strategically, and at the right time. Reports show he entered during a late-stage funding round alongside top-tier venture capital firms. The terms were private, but if he invested just a fraction of his wealth at the valuation it had in early 2025, the upside is enormous. A successful IPO or major government contract could be 5 times or 10 times his stake. But the real story isn't just about the potential return. It's why Barkley invested. This is a guy who reads startup pitch decks between practices, who meets with founders before signing anything. And when it comes to defense, he saw 3 things: long-term contracts, growing demand for automation, and tech that saves lives. In other words, a sector with staying power. Anduril software helps troops detect enemy movement before it happens. Their drones can run missions without pilots. Their AI can analyze a battlefield in seconds. That kind of innovation, it's exactly what Barkley looks for. This investment wasn't for headlines. It was about backing companies that matter. And when the US and other governments are writing billion-dollar checks, Barkley's betting on the side that's building the future of security. So what connects Ramp and Anduril? At first glance, they couldn't be more different. One helps companies with finances, the other helps militaries with defense. But Barkley doesn't pick based on hype or category. He picks based on scale. Tech scales fast. And if you invest early in the right one, you're not making money, you're making wealth. For Barkley, it comes down to ownership. Not just cash, not just a logo on his jersey. He wants equity. He wants to be at the table when decisions are made. He's not here to be a face. He's here to be a founder's partner. That's why when he got those $10 million worth of endorsement checks from Nike, Hulu, Pepsi, and Campbell's Soup back in 2021, he didn't spend it. He converted all of it to Bitcoin. While others questioned the risk, Barkley was playing the long game. And his focus isn't just about tech. He's making smart real estate moves too. He owns a luxury property in Bergen County, New Jersey, equipped with a gym, pool, and plenty of land. That property sits close to where the Giants train, something that he planned intentionally. But it doesn't stop there. Barkley's also exploring commercial real estate plays. His advisors have helped him look at multifamily properties in income-generating buildings. He's not trying to flip houses. He's trying to build assets that will bring in cash for decades. That's where his 3-part strategy comes in. Cash flow, things that pay him now, like real estate; growth, things that grow in value over time, like tech equity; legacy, things that outlive his NFL career, like philanthropic efforts and long-term partnerships. It's about building something lasting. Saquon isn't the only NFL player getting into investing, but he's definitely one of the most strategic. Take Russell Okung, for example. He invested early in Next Play Capital, a venture firm that connects pro athletes with Silicon Valley startups. Okung is also known for taking half of his $13 million salary in Bitcoin, a move that helped spark Barkley's interest in crypto. Then there's Jonathan Taylor, the star running back who dropped $6 million into Strive, a sports tech company using sensors to help athletes train better and avoid injuries. Strive's platform analyzes muscle fatigue, symmetry, and load, and it's used by teams in the NFL, NBA, NCAA, EPL, and even in the military. These guys aren't playing games. They're looking at data, meeting with founders, and putting up real capital. But Barkley stands out because of one thing: timing. He got in early. He's not investing because it's trendy. He's been building this portfolio since his early 20s. He reads the books, hired the experts, found the deals, and he's gone after high growth, low noise, high impact startups. Most of all, he's building a portfolio that reflects who he is. He likes efficiency, he likes performance, he likes winners. Ramp helps businesses win, and Anduril helps nations win. Barkley, he's winning too. If you want more stories at the crossroads of business and sports, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.